Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon, and today I'm going to be showing you guys one of the most 1v9 performances I've had in a while in Challenger. So I'm like 92 marks at the end of this game, or maybe I'm 90 marks when I'm playing this game. And yeah, we're pretty much just going to be going over the game, telling you guys my thought process, and showing you guys a pretty insane carry. I've been having a lot of really crazy carries on Warwick. I feel like he's one of the best champions right now for just completely taking over a game. Like, so much fighting. This champion is just kind of insanely underrated, super OP overall. And so I'm kind of going to talk a little bit about Warwick specifically, and then just the game as a whole. So the reason that I path towards my duo lane is because Leona Draven, obviously good gank setup in a really good early game. So that's why we path here. Something that's important to note, by the way, is that you don't want to smite your first camp as Warwick, because you want to get camps below 50% HP, because then you do more, you have more attack speed towards them when you get your second ability passive, which is why you upgrade second ability second, and why you smite it at full HP, like I did there. And you're going to see me smite this one as well. So this is ideal for your clear. Obviously, it makes it minorly more likely that you do get invaded, but like it's pretty rare that you're going to get invaded. So for the most part, this is just more effective. And you see I put 2 points in level, or 2 points in first ability, and I don't get my third ability until level 4. Just better for the clear speed overall. We're going to see here as well, the Mumu is going to be kind of inefficient. We're going to see, I believe, actually, that he 3-camped, did topside, and then comes to bot-side scuttle or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe it's a different Mumu. But regardless here, again, we're just looking to see if we can find any type of gank. And yeah, so here is where we see a Mumu kind of force the scuttle right away. So not that he doesn't double scuttle. He just forces this scuttle. And when the jungler does that, it means that now he has to go back to his blue side, because he went on 125. No champion's going to get there at 125 by doing all 6 camps, which means he has blue side camps to go to. And you can see I know that because when we look at his level, he's barely level 4. Meanwhile, I'm almost level 5, which means he hasn't cleared 2 camps. So I know he has 2 camps bot side, which means if he does decide to double scuttle me going top side, he's going to lose out on a lot of gold in the long run on his blue side. So I don't really mind if he does. And if he doesn't, then obviously I can just get to top side and get a gank off first. So that's why that kind of inefficient play from a Mumu isn't super valuable. And that's why you then see me just hovering. Like here I see like, oh, Urgot's pretty low. Let me just go hover the Urgot. A Mumu shows on the other side, so we know that we're still safe there. Unfortunately, Urgot does get solo killed, but we're able to get the kill onto the set. And so this is like one of the nice things too. You didn't really see it there, but whenever you have lanes that are volatile, that are fighting a lot, it's very easy to get ganks off with Warwick because of the second ability passive. So that's very useful. And then here, I believe we go for the invade because we see a Mumu show himself. Yeah, so a Mumu shows bot side about 5 seconds ago. And if you guys don't know, right around 2 minutes and 30 seconds is when the side that you started on is going to start to respawn. And so because I saw him doing that at 2:30, and then now I see him again at 2:50, I know that his camps are going to be spawning. And I can also use my camps as reference. You can see my Gromp and my Raptors are up, which means that his small camps are going to be up on the same side of where he started. And so we just get a free little invade off again, just having a lot more efficiency compared to the Amumu, even though Amumu is a much faster clear than me. And so I'm up level, I'm quite strong. And then we're just able to go farm our own camps right after and just get, again, quite a great gold lead overall. Nothing really too bad here. And this is why you can see kind of why it's going to be a bit of a 1v9, is because I do have multiple dead laners already, and that's sometimes going to happen, whether it's just because you get bad laners because people are bad a lot of the time, or whether it's because the enemy jungle ganked a lot more, and potentially get some value out of it, his ganks. But this increased efficiency is very valuable. Here I'm trying to see like, oh, maybe I can hover because Amumu looks like he might be ganking, and I'm up. You can see I'm level 7 and he's level 5. So like if he does go and fight, like I'm going to destroy him, right? We're just up a bunch of levels. But I end up being like, yeah, I mean, we're not going to have anything. So you saw, like, even there, I'm okay with sometimes being slightly inefficient. Like, I missed, I didn't get my camps as soon as they spawn. If it means that I'm going to hover a gank or, maybe help my teammate out. But I'm not going to overstay too long. Like, I wasted maybe, like, 10 seconds. Not the end of the world, and had a potentially really good outcome. And then because I had my Trinity Force, I actually recall first. The reason I recall before getting my red side is so that I can go and gank bottom lane after I get my red side with a Trinity. Like, whereas if I did red side right away, I'd either have to gank them with no Trinity, where I'd be a lot weaker, or I'd have to recall, grab Trinity, then come and gank them afterwards, and be not a great use of my time. So instead, I recall first to grab the Trinity, even though, again, I know that I'm going to be 5 more seconds late on my camps, and then I go for the gank afterwards, and they end up fighting quite aggressively, so we're able to get the drag onto Jhin. If you don't know, your first ability, Dash, does follow flashes and dashes and everything, so if you saw there, and I'm going to replay, and then you guys will see what happens after, but I want you to pay attention to this. You can see me spamming my drag as soon as Jhin is unsuppressed for my ultimate, and the reason is because I know he's probably going to flash, so I want to make sure I follow his flash, and this is why you see me follow his flash here, and then boom, and that's why we kill him. So very important mechanic to understand anytime you're into a champion who dashes, or if you think they have flash, anything like that. And then here we're able to dash through a Mumu, and we flash out, and I do luckily live. A little scary there from the Mumu counter gank, but again, you can see I'm still level 8, and he's level 6 or 7. Yeah, he's level 7 at this point, so we're up an entire level. And again, 2 kills. I'm very, very strong, and essentially at this point, we're just camps are up, we farm them. If we have ult up, or we have our second ability passive on someone, we look to gank them. And it's about that straightforward. There's not too much more to it. They have a lot of AP, so I end up going for Mercury Treads. Sometimes you can go for Wit's End, but I do really prefer Terminus. So if I can, I'll just go Mercs instead of getting Wits. But I go back to the top side because my camps are spawning on the top side, and I want to make sure, again, that I'm as efficient as possible. When you see a game like this, where, again, you're, like, say, 2-0, and your teammates are 0-4, 0-3, 0, whatever, you're mostly playing for yourself, so anytime I see an opportunity for a gank or something, I'm looking for it. Now, here, I'm a little worried because Set will ult me if I ult him, because my ult puts me behind him. However, I kind of deem it as valuable enough anyway, because, again, I think I can just pick him off, and so I'm like, okay, I'll tank that, and then I'll just be strong enough, and I was right. He ends up getting pulled in by the Urgot ult. Shout out to Urgot for the ultimate there, and we're able to get the kill on him. And again, Amumu's inefficiency is just leading to me getting a bunch of free stuff, because Amumu should be back to his top side by now, since we started on the same side, but once again, he's just staying bot side, and so I'm getting kills on the top side, I'm getting my camps, I'm just doing way more with my time, and again, Amumu has a faster clear than me, and I'm still doing all these things, and then because I see him, I'm like, oh, his camps must be up, because my camps are up, and we started on the same side. So I get a free invade off, get even more and more gold on myself, and again, just complete, you know, just way more gold than him, basically, is the point. And at this point, we do have to back off because Set is a meanie, but overall, still obviously not a bad outcome for us. And then, yeah, my teammate comes, so we end up, you know, chasing the Set down a bit. And I assume Set probably wouldn't, I mean, he could have ult by now. It's kind of probably pretty 50-50. But I think I can use the Herald to dive this guy here. But then they show up, so yeah. So since the enemy show up, obviously I end up just ulting out, and, you know, I'm fine with that. Say that the mid laner and the support did not show up, I would just ult that, or I would herald the top turret and then dive and then get turret plus the kill on Set. But unfortunately, a couple of the enemies show up, and so we just back off. And that's a nice thing too, is you can use your ult as an escape. Like you saw there, like I'm caught out, but I can use my ult to get out. So it can be a nice form of mobility. Definitely not bad there. And yeah, I was thinking about covering top side, you can see, but because bot side was kind of getting pushed and all my bot side camps are up, I decided let's just go bot side again. Value the efficiency. Like I'm already like, yeah, this game's not looking good. I'm just gonna make sure I get my stats up. I'm strong. That way, you know, if I do lose, I get Galio's Aegis. But also, I'm in a position to carry because, again, we do want to generally, you know, be the one with the majority of the gold. And so you see this game, again, is nothing good. And, like, Warwick isn't the most crazy scaling champion. I think people underrate his scaling. Like, people say he's an early game champ. I think he's actually pretty good late game. But he's not, like, a hyper carry late game. And yet, I'm still able to get a bunch of gold on myself. Then we go bot wave because we see free bot wave gold. And we're pretty much just, again, farming up a storm. You've seen, like, how many times at this point in the game have I not been farming a camp or getting gold from a plate or a turret, or, you know, a gank or something, right? So even here, I just end up being like, I'm just gonna get the turret. And because I'm so much stronger than Amumu because of all this farm, you see I can straight up just 1v1 him, which is what we do there. So we kind of just realized we have that 1v1 opportunity. Then we go for the outplay onto the Lux as well. We blow her flash. I flash onto her, and I don't remember, I think I end up killing her and dying here. Which is worth for me, again, because I'm just valuing my own gold. I'm trying to be as, you know, strong as possible. And so giving some gold to the Lux, but me getting all that gold means, well, one, I mean, I obviously hit my Terminus now here, which is really good. But two, again, like our only carry, which is me, gets even more gold. If Lux gets a little bit more gold, like the rest of her team's doing well too, it's going to be hard, but I really am going to have to rely on myself pretty heavily. So taking that, you know, dive and getting the shutdown on her definitely feels pretty worth it overall. And then I'm going for anti-shield third. Oceanite Trident is the anti-shield you should go for on Warwick. Don't go for Serpent's Fang. He's a lot of magic damage and scales really well with AP, so you prefer anti-heal or anti-shield to be an AP item. You don't want too much AP because then your autos do nothing, and your attack speed is worse and whatever. That's why like on hit is generally the best. But the AP increases your healing by a good amount, and again is going to be good for the passive of those AP items. So I typically go an AP item third. But yeah, now at this point we're just pretty much hovering, and you can see I'm trying to be pretty patient because my Draven is just pushing. So I'm kind of just waiting until I see an opportunity to go in, and then there we ended up blowing up the Jhin flash, and then getting the Amumu on the back end of that as well. And that's a really nice thing you can do as well in the fights is if you ult and there's someone in both sides of you, so like behind you and in front of you, then you ult onto the person who's further back, and then you use your first ability to go back towards your team. Because you like drag towards them. Like even there, you see how I used the Gromp to kind of run away. I mean, it wasn't in the best angle, but again, there I used the Gromp now to dodge the Lux ult. The intention wasn't to dodge the Lux ult, I was just trying to run away, but it ends up dodging the Lux ult. And you can dodge a lot of spells with that first ability, drag and stuff like that. So it's definitely a very useful thing to keep in mind. And then we heal up off camps, and again, because of my insane sustain, now I'm able to catch out the Lux just because I'm super fed. And once again, we're just in a really good spot now carrying. And you can see I'm pretty much, I think this is the game, I forget, but I think this is the game where I just don't farm my red side for multiple minutes straight. Like, because there's just so much fighting going on the Baron side. And again, you generally want to value the Baron a lot over the Dragon, generally speaking. Maybe it's not this game though, because I am going red side right now. I don't remember. Yeah, and I end up farming my Raptors up here, because again, we're just farming up to the objective. Like you can see, like I'm squeezing out gold even in that situation though, where it's like we're about to fight the objective. I might as well squeeze that little bit of gold before I end up going. We end up going on the Amumu because he's very, very low. We blow him up, and then at that point, I'm just able to get an easy ult onto the Samira, or the Zyra, not Samira. I don't know why I called her Samira. But yeah, we're just able to get the fight on the objective. And again, the reason I'm actually okay with fighting this, even though Baron's up, is just because the enemy were already there, and we saw a pick opportunity. So if you can go to a Dragon when a Baron's up, normally I say don't go to Baron, or don't go to Dragon when Baron's up. The times that I really say this is important is when you're really behind or when fights don't look good. If you see a good angle to fight, it's totally fine to be there, as long as you know no one's sneaking the Baron. Now in this case, my team ends up getting kind of shit on by the Jhin, so it doesn't work out super well. But in terms of the choice, I'm perfectly fine with that again, because I had an opportunity to carry, because I'm hitting like really strong items at that point and whatnot. But now we're kind of just at the point where we're wanting to hover the Baron. Again, the Baron is the main thing you do want to hover. Like I said, like most games, that Dragon's not going to matter, and even this game, that Dragon didn't matter. Like the fact that we lost that Dragon and lost that fight, it doesn't really change the outcome of anything, so it doesn't really matter. And then at this point, I'm just seeing if I can find any pick. Again, we just hover Baron, pretty much looking for picks, waiting for someone to show themselves in an opportunity, or give me an opportunity to kill them, basically. We don't really want to go in when a Mumu has all his stuff. That's why you see me not going on the Lux or the Zyra. If a Mumu has everything, it's like, it's not going to be the most, the most easy to kill, basically. So instead, I'll just farm whatever's on the top side. And again, like this is going to be the point where you see I haven't taken my red in a while, and I'm not going to take my red for a while. I'm pretty much just taking everything on the top side, because this is where Baron is. So if I can get a top wave, a mid wave, or any top camps, that's what I care about, not anything else really. And then again, you can see I realize like I need to find an assassination on someone, so I end up going over the wall looking for a flank, and then waiting for the enemy to blow a bunch of their spells. So you can see like a Mumu went in, he blew all his spells, Lux blows everything. And so even though I go into 5 people here, I'm not really into 5 people, because they used almost all their spells, and so we're able to kind of get a bunch done there. Now, unfortunately, we are behind enough where we do end up still dying and getting caught eventually here. But you can see, like, the patience is what allowed me to get a pick and very nearly get out. If that Jhin W didn't hit me, I'm completely out, you know, full health with just a pick. But you can kind of see, again, that patience when you are, like, the carry / assassin champion is really important, because if I just went in and a Mumu had all his spells and had everything, and, you know, everyone, Lux didn't use their first ability, like, I would be screwed. So the fact that I went in again after that meant that there's a chance for us to win it. Obviously, in a game like this where your team is, you know, pretty bad, it's going to be messy. It's not going to work out perfectly. But you can see it does not shape up too bad for us in the end. My team kind of 50-50s that fight, and the outcome's not the end of the world. And again, all we're just doing is just hovering this Baron side. Like, I haven't gone to my red side in minutes at this point, because that's just not what's important when the Baron is up. When the Baron is up, your red side pretty much doesn't matter, unless you just like don't have anything else to do with your time. And so on here is when we find a pick, and then we're able to get the Jhin as well. And you can see at this point I'm just super fed. And then I don't drag my first ability fast enough when she flashes there, sadly. If I was able to drag my first ability just a little earlier, could have killed her following her flash, but either way we get a couple picks there. And this is pretty much just Warwick. He's just fight 24/7 when you get in these types of situations. I don't know why Lux ended up walking up at me like that, and I also don't know why TF ulted under the turret, but we get the kill on Lux. Mumu uses his ultimate, so we're really not too beat up about that overall, though it was pretty weird. Yeah, you can see again, like the early game is all about efficiency, and then the 11-minute mark is where things switch, and that's kind of what I talked about in one of my previous videos recently. The video is like titled, I don't know, like everyone gets this part of the game wrong or something like that. Talking about late game, and you can see I'm kind of implementing these things, right? And this is a different game because I am like way stronger in this game compared to some of those other games I talked about. But again, it's just literally just like you can see, like the macro is not complicated. I'm just walking back to the Baron over and over, and it's pretty much just constant fighting around the Baron. And you can see, because again I play the fights well, like I end up going onto the Amumu just to get some poke onto him, to give myself a way to get onto the Zyra, and then drag onto the Zyra with my first ability. So that's like, again, first ability usage is an extremely important part of Warwick. The first ability drag is a pretty OP spell if you use it properly. As you saw there, again, using it, initially using my ult to get onto the Amumu, and then dragging onto the Zyra. And then here, I don't want to risk a Lux steal, so you see me just flash over and just kill. Like, a lot of people do this. They're winning the game or something goes well, and then they just flip a Baron that could be stolen by someone like a Orianna, like a Lux, Syndra, or just the enemy actual jungler. And there's just no reason. Like, I could just flash over the wall and kill him and guarantee the Baron. And now we get a couple turrets out of this. We go into Dragon, get the Dragon, and then we just go on to a fight. We look for it. This is kind of the messy situation because I got canceled when I ended up ulting by the set, and so we have to kind of drag out. And again, you see that first ability usage, I drag over the set to escape. So using that mobility to kind of sustain yourself is really important, and to get away. And then again, I can just sustain off my first ability because it's kind of broken. So I'm pretty much just, again, look at, like, I'm already back to full HP. Like, I was 1 HP, and then 10 seconds later, I heal off a camp, I'm full HP, and I'm right back to being Warwick. And this is what allows you to just fight so well. Is the fact that you can just constantly be in every fight, even if something doesn't go well, as long as you don't die. And it's really hard to get one shot because your champion has a third ability that has an insane amount of damage reduction. And you can see me just dive under the turret, kill the Zyra as well, again with the one-shot combo. And then at this point we realize, like, oh, I gotta get out, so I end up just going topside, pushing that out and healing off more camps, or more minions rather. And yeah, I mean, again, like you can see, this is pretty much just a 1v9 game where I'm pretty much just running at people 24/7 fighting. Like, it's less educational, video than some of my other videos, because a lot of the macro is just me running and fighting people. But this is what this champion does. And again, the reason that I was able to do this and actually win the fights is because of all the things we did early game, abusing the Amumu's inefficiency in order to just be in a 1v9 position. And now at this point, I'm full build. All I need to do is just get my buffs, and then we just look for more one-shots, and again, pretty much they all get one shot. You see me end up dragging onto Zyra to fear them both backwards and to get them both like pretty low. And then we target the Zyra again over the set, so that target priority. You even saw me looking to flash onto that Jhin there. We didn't end up finding it, but you see, like, the target priority, we're looking for the squishies, we're looking for people who we can kill. We're not gonna, initially hit the set, because if I'm hitting set 24/7, I'm gonna get, destroyed by their other champions' damage and whatnot. Here at some point, we just go on to the Amumu. And I end up trying to flash onto Jhin, again, the target priority thing. We end up getting the kill on him. So once again, target priority, like, I'm not actually concerned about that Amumu. The Amumu is essentially just a way for me to get onto the people who I care about. And then because I am mega fed, I will still destroy the Amumu. And we end the game with 21 kills. Again, game that a lot of people, I feel like, would be like, oh, like, this feels pretty unwinnable. And then we end up making it sort of winnable. Just, through my champion being kind of broken, and obviously some decent macro, good decision making, that type of thing. So we end up getting the 92 marks. And so I'm about 8 marks away from Sovereign on my first account, the jungle account. And yeah, we have four challenger accounts right now. And then we have my Baron lane's 52 marks. So pretty much almost all challenger. Trying to get a couple to Sovereign. I'll see. I think I can get like 3 to Sovereign. That's my prediction, is that I'll get 3 to Sovereign and 2 challenger. We'll see if I'm correct about that. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.